How can you stop to procrastinate and find motivation to grow your business? What can you do to identify what the necessary action steps are? And how can you hold yourself accountable so that you actually do them on a daily basis? Hi there, my name is Evelyn Weiss, and in this video I will not only tell you what the 3 main reasons for procrastinating are, but I will also give you a very simple step-by-step process on how to overcome this and how to get you in the position that you have the motivation to grow your business. So with myself, with my one-on-one clients and with my membership members, I see that almost every time when they procrastinate and they don't have motivation to grow their business, it's never because of laziness. There are 3 main reasons that I see that occur when people get stuck. And the very first thing is that there's a lack of alignment. The second thing is that there is a lack of clarity. And the third thing is that there is a lack of structure. And the good news is that you can fix all of that. So the lack of alignment means that people just don't feel that what they think they need to do to grow the business is the right thing. And this can be very subconscious. So it could be that they, say that, oh, this is what I need to do, or that this is my plan. I wanna have a big course launch, or I want to have this program. I want to get people on a call and sell them with that. But they don't do it. And the number one reason is that they feel deep down that is not aligned with what they actually want. So the very first thing is that to fix this is to identify your why. And this is actually a very simple process. All you need is a pen and a paper, and then you sit down and say, okay, why do I want this business in the first place? And I totally get it. If you're like me, your answer is money, freedom, and security. But that's not your actual why. That's just on the surface, right? So then, okay, you go deeper and say, okay, I want money. Okay, I want freedom. Okay, I want security. So what does that mean? Why do I want that? So my main reason why I want that is I want to be able to buy nice things for me and for my little son. I want to never ever have to work for someone again. And I also want to be able to provide for my son and not have to worry about money. Okay, so why do I want that? So now, again, you dig deeper and you say, okay, for example, why do I never ever want to work for someone else again? And this then is, based on your personal experience. And the deeper you dig, the more you will reconnect with your why and the more you will find the motivation. Those are the things that actually drive you. Those are the things that actually make all the efforts that go into growing a business worth your while. So take the pen, take the paper, and go really deep. You will uncover layers, things that happened in your past, maybe sometimes in your childhood, and you will really see why this entrepreneurial journey is the right thing for you or not, and what is your main motivation. And usually with this, when you reconnect with your why, sometimes you will also understand that the action you thought are necessary to take are not aligned with this why. So they don't match who you really are. And this is why it's so hard for you to implement, because deep down you know that this is not your path. This is not how your life should look like. So this is the first step, is the alignment. Do this why exercise. By the way, this is not my process. I came across this like a little while ago. I can't remember who it was, but I would love to give credit. You probably know it. Just drop a comment down below. So this is the first thing, is the lack of alignment. And this is the main one. The next one is the lack of clarity. So once you're reconnected with your why, once you understand your core motivations for wanting to grow a business in the first place, you need to have clarity around how should this exactly look like. So what does my dream business look like? How much money do I make this year? How much money do I make in 3 years? How much money do I make in 5 years? And most people, they want to try it the other way around. So they're like, what do I need to do to make 10K in my next month? But I would really encourage you to start from this point. So how much money do I want to make? And then how much work do I want to do? And how does that look on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? So how many hours am I doing what work? So what am I working on? How does that look? Where do I sit? What do I create content? Am I on a call with people? Do I record my course? Like, how does that look like for you? I have some goal setting cheat sheets, And if you want them, just drop a comment below and I will get you them. This is it's a very, very detailed questionnaire that I try to revisit at least on a monthly basis and really dig deep on how I want my life to look like, and how it actually looks on a day-to-day basis. Because sometimes we can get caught up in these dreams about, stepping into our private jet and driving the Lamborghini. I'm kidding. I don't want a Lambo, but some people want it, and that's fine. That's fair. But how does it actually look like? How does your business look on a daily basis? How does your life look on a daily basis? Who are the people that are in your life? Who are your clients? How are they? How do you work with them? What is your ideal scenario? So go also really, really detailed on that. And this is where most people get it wrong. They just think, okay, I want to be a 6-figure coach. I managed to become a 6-figure coach in 9 months, and it's just a fancy word. It's if it doesn't transform your life in a way that you envision it, you will see that 6 figures, first off, 6 figures is just a start. And second off, the money in a bank account doesn't help you if you struggle all day to hop between client calls and do a lot of busy work, if you don't have time for your family. So really try to go from how do I want my life to look like, how do I want this business to look like to make me happy. And once you're there, once you really have that detailed, and as I said, revisit that once a month, and also include things like, okay, how do I want my apartment to look like? Where do I want to live? Who are the people that I want to have in my life? What am I providing for these people? What am I providing? What am I providing for myself? What am I buying with the money I make? How do I reinvest it? So get really, really clear on how this ideally looks for you. And don't think this is brainstorming now, so don't think of any restraints. Like, don't say, oh, but I will never gonna make that, so I'm not noting this down. No, how does it ideally look like for yourself? And really do this exercise after the why. And once you have that, we can actually reverse engineer from that. So once you know exactly, okay, I want to give myself a 50K salary per month, and for that I only want to work 5 hours a day. So if that's your goal and you noted this down, naturally some options will cancel out. So some things are just not doable if you're trading time for money. So this will kind of force you to come up with things that are in alignment with how your goals should actually look like. And this is when you really want to break things down, and you want to say, okay, if I want this, for example, okay, if I want to make this amount of money, what do I need? What are systems? What are business models that will allow me to do that? What are components? So, for example, if you say, okay, I want to have this kind of income, but I also don't want to work more than 5 hours a day, and I don't feel comfortable with selling high tickets. So, for example, this is in my case, I have a done-for-you agency where we run Facebook ads for people. So I'm, of course, charging a premium for that, like standard agency fees, to be honest, which most people would assume is a high ticket, but I personally don't feel comfortable selling high ticket coaching. It's not aligned with what I believe in. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just a personal preference and how it's connected to my why and how I want my life to look like. But okay, if I don't sell a high ticket and I just want to work this amount of hours a day, I will have to figure out different systems to make this actually happen. And this could look like, okay, diversifying my income streams. There's not only my agency that I can automate to a certain degree, which will actually allow me to get to this kind of soon, but I also want low risk, so I need to diversify. And then, okay, I can also have the membership. Okay, I can also have income from affiliate. Okay, I can also have income from my YouTube. Okay, I can also have income from my digital products here. So how now that you know your why, now that you know how your life should look like, what approaches would facilitate this outcome while still being aligned with your why? And to be very honest with you, this will take you maybe a couple of weeks to figure out. You will need to do some research, you will need to have some conversations, ask people, but you will find business models and ways of generating income streams that are aligned with that. And once you have that, you can break it down further. Okay, so let's take an example. Okay, I want to not only be reliant on the agency and automate this, I also want to have a membership. Okay, how can I get it started? How can I get started? What can I do to make this around? What are the necessary steps to grow a membership? And guys, this is all information you can find for free online. You can find that for free on YouTube, for example. So once you really know the steps, or once you know what you need to do, you can figure out the steps and reverse engineer from that. And then it's always important to have a long-term plan. So this is something I'm always teaching my members. The people that will succeed with ads, they are the ones that understand the concept of customer lifetime value. So I'm perfectly fine, for example, to pay $30, $50 for a new member for my membership, because I know that people will stick around longer than a month. So although I'm losing money on the first month, I'm already profitable on the second month. And there are companies that are willing to, invest thousands of dollars into a client because they know that the client, for example, software companies, SaaS companies, software as a service, they know, okay, if people buy the software with us, they on an average stay for 5 to 10 years. So, okay, I will lose money the first 3 years, but I will make money from year 5 to year 10. So you need to get a different perspective on this. And this is actually what this process allows you to do. And once you know, okay, the models that I have, the steps that are necessary, go and break every step down further. Okay, what now I know I want to grow a membership. These are the necessary steps to grow a membership. How does that look like if I split it up in weeks? What is a realistic time frame, for example, to fill up my initial members portal? What is a realistic time frame to set up my sales page? What is a realistic time frame to set up my Facebook ads? What is a realistic time to set up my funnels? So once you know the steps, you also will know the order of the steps, and then you can say, okay, how much time does this take? And then you can block this out in your calendar. And once you know like all the things that are necessary to do that, you can then start to prioritize and say, okay, those things are building up upon each other. So I will need to start with this first. And after that, I'm implementing this. And then give yourself realistic time frames for everything, because this is also something that otherwise will lead into procrastination. If you want to get it all done in a week, like, okay, I want to launch my membership and I want to get it done in a week, this is not a realistic time frame, and you will get frustrated and you will feel like you accomplished nothing, and then you will feel stuck and you will hop onto another model. So this is what I see happen all the time. People don't set realistic time frames for things, then they get disencouraged because they're not making 10K in their first month. Okay, I made, for example, with my free group that I started, I grew it to 1,000 people and I made 10K in revenue in my first month. But I have studied marketing. I work in this field for 10 years. I've spent millions literally on Facebook ads. So yes, it looks like this was done in a month, but it was just the result of, developing myself in the position to be able to pull something like this off. I'm not saying that it's not something that people can replicate, but you have to be realistic with timeframes. And if you're in the position that you say, I need to make money this month to pay my rent, then don't quit your job or get a job. You should never act out of fear and because you're with your back against the wall. That's kind of challenging. I mean, I was in this situation as well, and I'm not saying you can't make it happen. Sometimes rock bottom helps us to do like the most outstanding things. But all I want to say here is I want to encourage you to think long term and give yourself realistic timeframes. So there is a technique to do that, and that's called calendar blocking. It's something that I started to use in my business. It took off a lot of stress because they're now dedicated time frames in my Google Calendar, and they really allow me to hold myself accountable and to give myself enough time to get the things that actually matter, because I follow this whole process, done within a reasonable time. And it also allows me to not get distracted and hop onto another opportunity. So this is what I wanted to say is, if people get discouraged because things don't work for them fast enough, they always blame the model and then hop on to another opportunity when they just didn't give it enough time to and enough action to actually get started. You know how it's like when you try to roll a really heavy stone, you need a lot of initial power to get it rolling, but once it rolls, it kind of doesn't stop. My English is not good enough to explain these physics terms, but you know how this works. And this is with starting everything, you need a lot of energy to gain this initial momentum. But once it's there, things kind of roll. So don't hop from one opportunity to the other. Rather, sit yourself down, identify your why, identify the how it should actually look like, and then break it down from there into monthly goals, into weekly goals, into daily pieces of action that you need to do. And when you follow those steps, I'm sure that you will have no problem to find motivation to grow your business and stop procrastinating forever. Hope this was helpful. If it was, consider subscribing to the channel. Bye.